We're young. We can figure it out, right?
Right, exactly. I'm just going to follow.
Blue. Push it till it's blue.
Thank you. Now we're blue.
It might take a minute for people to join us, Cindy, because people don't expect Memory Bound to be here on a Saturday. I mean, we're here, but we're not here on Facebook.
Absolutely.
So, but look who's here. Cindy's back.
Hi.
Yippee!
Good morning.
I think, let's see, Cindy, were you here 2 weeks ago, or when was it?
It was the Monday after the 4th of July.
Okay, and I think I was gone. Was I gone?
I believe so. I think so. No.
Was I here? I don't know. I don't remember. That seems like long,
Right.
long ago. And we're already moving into August.
Exactly.
But thank you for coming back.
Thanks
this is
for having
Cindy,
me.
and she's back again. And we even have viewers here on a Saturday, and she's going to show us all kinds of cool stuff. And maybe score tape isn't that cool, but what Cindy does with it, oh my gosh, our viewers are going to love this. Juanita says, "Yay, a Saturday class." And TJ's watching, and Carol.
Good
Hey,
morning.
did you guys watch our last couple videos? We are loaded with new product. Hey, Cindy, I'm just going to take a buzz over there while people are joining us, and
That's
I'll be
awesome.
right back.
Please do.
And let's see. Look at Kendra's busy this morning.
Good morning.
Getting web orders taken care of. So we're not going to go through it all, but I was calculating, we got maybe 2,500 pounds of freight. I'm calling it pounds because some of it came by truck. And then they can tell you how much things weigh. So we got the Howdy collection. We had gotten all the new Say It with stamps, and they had no pictures online, but they have pictures now. Thank you, Penny. And we welcomed our brand new exclusive Enchanted Autumn collection this week, which we designed ourselves along with our staff, and our staff has made amazing projects with it that we're going to be sharing. And then my personal favorite is the Lemon Twist from Simple Stories. This was a April-May release that arrived almost in August, but I'm just happy it's here. Hello, Jane. Hi, Jerry. Hi, Barb. It's nice to see all of you guys this morning. And then if you want to head to the beach, and it feels like a beach today without the sand and the ocean, the Coastal Collection is here from Simple Stories. And Peggy, oh gosh, Peggy, you're so nice because you say what a treat. Then the other collection that came in that's super fun is it's family fun, so of course it's super fun. But this came from Simple Stories. So like I said, surprise, surprise, we're here on a Saturday morning. And I'm going to get right back to Bobby. Or not Bobby. Bobby's here, but I don't know where she went. Oh, no, that's Kendra. Bobby, there's Bobby over there. Yay! So I'm going to get back to Cindy. And then I also want you guys to know that we had 6 collections come in yesterday that Diane and Penny checked in, and we don't even have them out yet, but fall and Halloween and some Christmas is all back here in boxes, so we got to find room for that. Cindy, you might have to stick around today and help us find room for all that new product.
Absolutely.
Or just buy it. If someone would come in and buy it, we'd be set.
My craft room, absolutely, you could put it in my craft room.
We'll just haul it over there, right?
There we go. Yeah, you bet.
Well, there's a lot of people watching, Cindy, and they're pretty
Well, good
excited
morning.
that we're here on a Saturday. So,
well, I appreciate being able to come in again.
We
and showing
love
you
it.
Some of the things and really kind of easy ideas and things that the viewers can make and just have fun with.
And I want everything you made, but I don't know that I have the time or I'm going to be able to make it. But I think we all will be able to after you show us.
Absolutely. A lot of this is, it's very easy. Things that don't take a lot of time look more complicated than they really are.
That's what I think it is. I really do.
But once I tell you...
Then I'm going to go home and make it, right?
Absolutely. So the first couple things that I'm going to show you are these 3 pieces. These are ephemera holders, and I made the first 2 out of a file folder, which I just took and this way measured how big I wanted it, used this as the fold along the line, and then just covered it inside and out with.
It makes it really like heavy. I
It's
couldn't
very sturdy.
believe it was a file folder.
It's very sturdy. So it's, and then there's two pieces of 12 by 12 cardstock, one for the outside and then one for the inside. Now I used my sewing machine and stitched around the edges, and I also stitched the vellum on as well. That's totally optional. I'm a seamstress, so I sew. It's
so you could use score tape or a strong liquid adhesive or something.
And I'm going to show you the other one that I did that is not sewn at all. It's just glue.
Okay.
So, but this particular one and this is Tim Holtz on both of them. This is his cloth tape.
Okay.
That I just kind of reinforced the edges and that fold, give it a little more strength, and then inside. This is just 8.5. This is just 8.5 by 11 sheets of paper that I stamped background. And so what these are, and you can make the pockets whatever depth you want, the length of your page, and then you just glue them or you stitch them on the sides. Actually, I cheated. I did a little bit of glue just to kind of hold it down.
Yeah, kind of reinforce it.
Because if you sew it, you've got to make sure that what's on the front and what's on the back is at the same place.
Oh,
so of
good
course,
tip.
So
good
of course,
tip.
you know, Cindy's got her ruler out, and I'm measuring a lot. And you see, there's pencil marks. Yep, busted right there. But that's how I made them line up so they show. But then you get your ephemera again, and I put a bigger pocket on the front for some of the bigger pieces of ephemera. And then this particular one has all of my tags, stamps, numbers, you know, these types of
Cindy,
type thing, you know.
I think all of you should be going, wow, because I did when I opened it.
And, you know, words, little sayings, things that I've gotten, you know, stamps, things that I've gotten, you know, whether it's an ephemera pack or offline, some digital pieces, and then just put them in here. And then this is what's in this particular one.
Now, Cindy, Diana is asking, when you sew, do you find a needle point or ballpoint best?
I use just a universal needle. I use a 90 in my machine. I think it's 90, but I have one, and it's just specifically for my paper.
Okay.
Lengthen your stitches, because if you don't lengthen your stitches, now all of a sudden your stitches now become like perforations, and it'll be like
That's what happened to me, and you were quite helpful
Yes.
when I had made a project and it was perforated and just
whether it's straight stitches or zigzag, lengthen those stitches out. But I do have a needle, and I just put it in a piece of paper when I'm done, and I label it for paper. This way I don't use it on fabric.
Cindy, seriously, this is amazing.
Okay, so
I want this so bad. I want to be organized like you.
So this one is that. This one is my flowers, my mushrooms. There's some birds in this one. These are like washi stickers.
Okay. Yeah.
And then there's some Tim Holtz, the bugs, type of thing, and some of his ephemera as well. Butterflies. So this is kind of nature-esque. You're going to see butterflies.
Well, you definitely can see what you have, and that's my problem. I've just got packages of ephemera everywhere.
Exactly, and you know, floral, fronds, fern, greenery. Here's some of the flowers. I don't use a lot of flowers.
Those are so beautiful.
But
I love it.
So these are all put in here. Again, there's pockets in the back, and these are sewn on. I hand stitched them, and you can't see, I've covered it on the outside, but that's hand stitched with, this happens to be linen thread that I just
So what do you mean is sewn on? What is sewn on? Your extra inserts?
Yes, they're put together, and I'm going to pull this other piece out just to kind of show you what I mean. This is how I sew.
All right.
This one happens to have 5. These just use 3, where you take thread, you go down, you come up, you come over, you go down, you come up, and then tie it. That's what I mean by these are all sometimes this is talked about as a signature or a grouping of paper.
I was just going to ask if like a signature.
That's what this is this is, I consider it one signature. It's just one. Oh, there it is. There's my thread in the middle.
Okay. All right. So hang on 1 second.
Absolutely.
What size of stitch do you use?
Oh, for sewing
for sewing on
this
your paper.
Okay, mine's all in centimeters.
Stitch length, I guess. Stitch length.
I would say.
Get up close.
Ooh, this is probably no smaller than a 3. My machine is in metric, so it's either a 3 or a 3.5.
Okay, wonderful.
But you can make it as big as you want. Make it a 5. You know, this is yours. Make this whatever you like.
And so, Cindy, the pockets are made out of vellum, right?
Yes, the pockets are just made out of vellum, just plain vellum that I've cut. Again, decide what your widths are. They're not all the same width on the bottom. These aren't all the same width on the top. It's just whatever pieces you have, and this way you can customize them for what you want it to be for yourself.
And we have vellum in 12 by 12 and 8.5 by 11 that you can get. And there's a couple different weights, but I think both of the weights we have are probably heavy enough that you would want to use them. Or
actually,
is it possible to have too heavy a vellum, Cindy?
In my opinion, no, but I'm kind of hard on my pockets when I'm going in and out.
They look nice.
Another thing you could do is, if you wanted to, is you could punch a tiny, like a thumb pull with a circle punch. I'm going to grab this one because this is a 3/4 punch that I use. This one or an 1/8 inch, where you could just put this in.
Just make a little
like a half moon in here, and then you could pull at that out if that's helpful for you. That's another option as well.
And then the other question they have is how many are you using?
One for each one. Remember, you're taking your folder.
But that's the outside, right?
This
one folder for the outside?
One folder for the whole thing.
Oh my
gosh.
gosh.
You're sandwiching the folder in between 2 sheets of cardstock.
Oh, I thought the cover was a folder. No, so the cover is cardstock, and then your one folder.
The cover is the folder. Okay. So here's the edge.
That's your cover, is the folder. So what are your pages then?
Just regular 8.5 by 11 white cardstock.
Okay, that's what you meant. Okay, everybody, I'm cleared up now. No, I'm cleared up now.
I didn't mean to confuse you.
So the cover is a file folder, and they do, I think file folders make amazing projects and albums. And then on the inside, when you said 8.5 by 11,
that's these sheets of paper.
Okay,
they're cardstock.
So those are just cardstock.
And
they're just a single layer.
Yeah, it's just a single layer.
Single layer of cardstock.
And again, you want whatever size you want this to be. Let's say if this was, well, let's just find out. I don't even remember what I cut.
It's been.
Oh, it's probably not bigger than 6 inches, because I wanted to use one sheet apart,
and you folded it in half.
Right.
Okay.
So I wanted to use one sheet. So this actually made is like 5 3/4 by 7. So these pages are going to be 6 3/4. I think I've just subtracted 1/4 of an inch by 5 1/4. So this way they fit in the cover.
So since we're here on a Saturday and it's a little unusual for us, I just want to let everyone know, if you are just joining us, we're memory bound. We're located right in the middle of Iowa, and we have daily videos Monday through Friday with demos, and we show you new product and everything. But today is special because it's a Saturday and Cindy is here, and if you've seen anything she's shown so far, you know how amazing it is.
Well, that's very kind.
And oh gosh, Cindy, I love these.
So
these were described to me, and I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, sure. But when I saw it, I went, wow. And I think a lot of our viewers are going, wow, too.
I'm going to be making one that's probably going to be this size, which what I did with this one, this is a little different because it's bigger across. I actually have 4 sheets of cardstock. I couldn't bring it around.
Okay.
Which is another reason why I've, this kind of tape, or if you put lace around here or something, it covers a multitude of sins. Nobody would know the difference.
They look amazing.
So, but I'm going to make one probably this size for Christmas, for my Christmas ephemera.
Okay, and I think that would be amazing. You could do lots of different themes. Now, Cindy, could you show us one more time how you sewed in? The question is, did you sew in the pages? And I think that means how you added the pages with your thread.
Yeah.
Like how you hand stitched
Well,
them.
I'll pull that one out.
Here you can see where she added her pages,
Right,
and she used a
and
real heavy.
This is like hemp thread or linen thread, and I use a darning needle or a yarn needle. I poke holes with my Tim Holtz it's craft pick. That in a pinch you can use an ice pick, but be careful because the diameter might be too thick, might be too wide. So this is why, and you punch the holes a little. You have to go straight down with the book. This might be something that I show sometime. You go straight down with the book folded, because if you do it with the book open, your pages are going to shift. So you punch the 3 holes.
Sure.
And then you thread your needle. You go down, you leave a tail. I usually leave about 3 or 4 inches. You go down through the center, you bring it around, you come up through one of the ends. Being left-handed, I usually pick the one that's closest to my other hand. Come up this way, you go across down to the bottom, you pull it out, and you come up through the middle. So now you've got your 2 ties. You want your strings on either side of this middle thread that you've pulled down. Make sure everything's tight. Tie it in a knot.
Tie a knot.
And that's it.
If you're referring to the other sewing, she did sew here along the vellum, and that's how she attached the pages.
The pockets.
So you got hand sewing and machine sewing, Cindy, doing it all.
Exactly.
Doing it all.
So, but now here's a different one that I did not sew, and this one has this one has all my Halloween. This one has all of my Halloween ephemera in it, which isn't a lot, but I still wanted something to put it in because, well, that's how I roll. And I did a closure on this one. I just did some seam binding that you all here have.
Yeah, we have lots of different colors.
But you could use whatever you wanted to, or not.
Or leave it.
I used, this is 6x6. It was a 6x6 paper pad, and that I used, and I happened to have it. Sorry, it was from last year.
Well, you know what? We received 2 brand new Halloween collections yesterday that we'll be showing next week.
Cute.
We're still working. They're in boxes still, but they're coming.
That's awesome.
Well, no, make that 3 because the Frank Garcia Halloween is here.
Oh, lovely, lovely. Well, and you don't have to. I just decorated the front. You don't have to. But I did on this one.
It's fun.
And then this is 2 pieces of 12 by 12 cardstock. I do have the dimensions that I can leave with Kelly.
Yeah, we can take a picture of that.
For how many you need, 4 that are the front and the back cover, and then how you attach them. Okay, here's the vellum again. Now see, this one is glued. This one I used just my liquid glue, my favorite liquid glue, so whichever your favorite is, along the sides and the bottom. And then you cut your pieces of cardstock. I believe it's...
Is it 6 maybe?
6 by 8.5.
Okay.
And then you fold it in half. All right? And then you stack them. I have them alternated, orange and black. You stack them one on top of another. I'll just flip it.
So are you gluing the back to back? So you're folding them and then you're gluing.
You're gluing, or this is where I used 1/8 inch score tape. 1/8 inch score tape. I will use a lot for my pockets as opposed to gluing them, because glue, when you press it down, will spread, which will take up pocket space. Your score tape won't.
Score tape is great. Now, if you're not familiar with score tape, it comes in all kinds of widths. Cindy's using the 1/8 inch and the 1/4 inch on her projects, and it's like red line tape, but even better because you can tear it, you don't have to cut it, and it's super strong.
Absolutely. So
that was our commercial break, Cindy.
There you go. No, I love it.
I think a lot of people are familiar with it, but you never know.
You never know. But you stack them one on top of each other, and you can see kind of here, there's an orange, and it's stacked on top of a black, and score taped together. Then it's stacked, then that black is on top of another orange, score taped together, and then that's on top of another black.
I have made albums like this, but I've never made an ephemera holder like this.
But then what I did, and then now you've got a pocket that's in between that you can hold, like I just made tags from like leftovers and just stuffed them in here. And then you put your however deep you want your pockets. Again, this is just vellum.
I love it that you have a hand. I know that's Tim Holtz right there, but you open it up and there's a hand.
There's the hand. And I almost thought about putting the face with
the
hand.
face or maybe the eyeball.
Yeah.
I reckon I have all of those at home, Cindy, but mine are in their original packages because I'm hoarding them. But I'd rather hoard them in a project like this so I can look at them and enjoy them.
And then there's some little teeny tiny pieces. And what I did is I made this out of vellum. It's just
and she's going to show us how to do that too.
Seriously, it's just a coin envelope that I got, and I pulled it apart, and I just put this pattern on a piece of vellum, traced around it, and cut it out, folded it up, glued it along the bottom and the side, and then now I can see what's in my little pieces, because I tried putting them in the top pocket and it was like, it was just too small.
Well, so and Cindy, I love that you're using vellum, so you just made a point so you can see what you have. That's the hard part when you start getting a lot of ephemera.
If you don't see it, you don't use it.
I know. I've got that problem at my house.
But so that's just what I use.
Pattern.
And I believe memory bound. I think y'all have.
I think we have a die that cuts that, and we had some of those envelopes for sale in packages. And when a staff member buzzes by, I'm going to have somebody go look to see. I didn't even think about that earlier.
There you go. And keep the little flap on it. Cut the little flap on. Make it more like a bag. Again, whatever you want it to be. But then you just stack these. So we've got a little Tim Holtz up front. And then we've got a little bit of the ephemera that was with this particular collection. I think it
looks like Cartabella.
So I've got that in here as well, and then on the back. And then this one I took, and this was another little piece that I cut out. And this is actually, let me grab.
Oh, you made a little pockety thing.
Make a little pocket,
Cindy, I love that.
A little tuck on the back, and this could be a bookmark or it could be another tag, and then just for a little piece that you could put whatever in.
Nice.
And I just have these in here, so when the time comes, and this is when the time comes to use them, I know where to go to get them. But what I want to do on Mr. Skeleton. And
Mr. Skeleton.
I need to come up with a name for him. I don't know what it will be, but that one, and there's this black background. There's this black background that looks, let's see if I can find it real quick. Oh, this one. I've got some glow in the dark paint.
Oh gosh, that would be great.
And I want to put it on there so it's like glow in the dark. My grandkids think that that's like just the coolest thing is sliced bread. So it's like, all right. So that's is
really, really neat.
That's my Halloween. Okay.
Now, Robin suggested that she thought maybe you could use some of your clear packaging from your stamps and dies. Hang on one second. We had these in vellum. Will you see if we have them like on the wall or over by the etc. The vellum. I'm sorry, they're vellum envelopes.
Like coin envelopes.
Jennifer's looking to see if we still have those.
To use for your pockets? Robin, is that what you're talking about for your pockets?
Yeah, she wondered if you could maybe use some of your packaging.
Maybe vellum.
Where we're at. I know we're still on, but
okay,
I'm back.
Okay, but the idea of having it clear so you can see what you have is
so
wonderful.
Clear packaging would be great.
But if you didn't have it, but you still wanted to make something like this and maybe it's stuck up, you could use pieces of cardstock as well.
Sure.
For your pockets. So.
Oh, I see. Like if it's bigger than your pocket, so you can at least see it.
So you would know. I mean, and I almost thought about doing that like on the inside covers, and is making this more of a tuck. Take it off on the diagonal and then just have things stuck in there. And you could do that as well. And just
Cindy,
make it what is.
I don't know if you realize how amazing this is.
I figured you'd like the Halloween one.
Oh, well, of course I love Halloween. I can't wait. But I love them all, and it's like, gosh, that's just so smart because it's organized and you can see what you have.
Yes, exactly.
So
okay, so now
what's next? We know it's going to be good, right?
Well, I'm going to move these ephemera journals kind of out of the way here. I'm going to put these over here, and
I'll take some pictures of those when we're done, and I'll post them here on Facebook to help give everybody a little reminder of what we had today.
Now, this is my junk journal. And people are like, junk journal? What? Junk what? Journal? What?
Thank you.
You can make your own.
Yeah. Here, just set that here. And okay. Jennifer went to look for the envelopes. Jennifer, thank you very much, because I know you love to be on camera.
Yes, yes I do.
She hides behind a rack or something when we're videotaping. She went and looked. We no longer have those little coin envelopes in vellum, but she did bring over, and I think Cindy's going to use that too. She did bring over some vellum, so to know that we do have vellum paper, and it is online also. Does that feel like a good weight, Cindy?
This is lovely.
I think this might be the 40.
This is the 40.
This is the 40 pound.
This would be really good. Now be careful, like for your pockets.
Can you still sew with this weight?
Yes.
Do you think?
Oh,
'Cause
yeah,
There's
you
a
can
29 pound also.
You could. This would probably be better for like the inside cover kind of pockets. I don't believe this is as heavy as this, but it would be good. Make sure you might want to lengthen your stitch if you use something that's a little heavier.
Okay, that's a good tip.
The 29 pound, that's probably what I've used here.
So maybe better for sewing, but if you're going to glue it in or use score tape, then you might want the heavier.
Just again,
It's about the
experiment
same.
with it.
Okay, let's set it here. It's about the same clarity. I think you can still see through it about the same. It's
Absolutely.
just heavier. So
Absolutely. Yep.
that right there is amazing, Cindy.
Yep.
This page, like this. That's just like wow.
Oh,
Wowzer.
See what happened here, guys? This is what happens when you get glue stuck on the background and it pulls up. And it pulls up. This is a mistake.
Well,
so you just
that's
you
pretty
know,
minor amongst the whole book, Cindy.
just
I think
close
it's wonderful.
But this is my junk journal, and I did this. This is a book that I had downstairs in my basement. Actually, it's an old college book from many moons ago.
From like 2003 or something,
Ish.
2006.
Yeah, just back in the
Cindy
day.
and I were in high school together, but I was older. I will admit, I was the older one. So Cindy's so young.
I am. I'm just, 27-ish.
Yeah, right.
But what I did is I'm going to untie this.
Yes,
this is
this is the reveal. Okay, let's look at the cover though too.
the cover is just.
Because I really want to know how you do this. I've been wanting to do it.
The cover is just I used the 49 in Market, the Wedgwood.
Okay.
The vintage Wedgwood is the collection. When I made this, that was the collection that was available, and that is the front. And I love this.
So it's just paper.
I didn't really need to collage it because it was already done for myself. It was already done.
It's
I did put this.
amazing.
This is just a piece of book page. Actually, it's probably the book pages from what I took out of
From
the
the
inside.
book?
Yep. And I distress everything. You'll see in some color. That Halloween ephemera that was distressed in black soot. This was distressed in Tim Holtz's oxide vintage photo.
Oh, vintage photo oxide.
Yep.
Okay, here's what she means. On this, you'll see along the edges, you'll see some kind of blackish, and that's the black soot distressing. What do you like to use to apply the ink, Cindy?
I still have the rectangular blenders.
Blender handle?
Yep.
I like those too.
I don't have I have the round ones, but I haven't used them. But I actually take the pads off and I write on them either in a white marker, or if it's the old blue background, I can use a black Sharpie so I know which ink it is. So I have a Ziploc bag with all these rectangles of foam, and this one's for vintage photo, and this one's for fired brick, and this one's for and I just change them out.
I should take a video of my area right now, but my husband would tell me not to. It's a mess, and you sound very organized, so I need to be more like you.
I am messily organized. We'll go with that. But I put this on the front, and then there's a piece that was that I covered the spine with, and then a piece on the back.
Oh my gosh, I didn't know the back was covered.
So this actually is one piece of paper, but because it's wider than 6 inches, it's actually I used 2. It's because
sure, yeah.
This the front comes over like here anyway. So, but I wanted it, and it was already really collaged for me.
It looks great, and you want it to look nice too.
I almost was going to put the journal on the spine, but it curves, and I didn't want it to lift. So that's the cover. And what I did is I just took the book, and this is what's called a floating spine, which we'll talk about that.
Okay.
But what I did is just took an X-Acto knife, and you can, in the inside cover, you can just release the page on the front. you can release the page on the back, and you can actually just remove the inside.
So basically then you're just working with the book cover.
I'm just working with the book cover. And then I covered, again, the front and the back cover with paper. This is called a floating spine, and the reason it's called that is because it floats. It's not attached to the back. It's attached to this piece of chipboard that I've covered with paper.
So you put a piece of chipboard there?
Yep, this is a piece of lightweight chipboard. Actually, it might be from a cereal box.
Okay.
Seriously, I mean, or something. I mean, it's that type of weight. It's not heavy chipboard.
So when you say it's floating, it's because your actual book spine is not attached to the chipboard.
There is space in between here. And this is just a piece of, I had an old twill shopping bag that I just glued in here with,
I thought that was just part of the book,
no,
but
it's
that's
just,
not.
No,
okay.
It's just, and with a fabric glue that I use for when I glue fabric and that type of thing down. So that's what I call a floating spine. And so then this big signature is sewn into this piece of chipboard, and then you actually have to glue this in by having this be upright, and you put a book on this side and you put a book on this side. So when this glue is drying, your book is like this.
Okay.
Anyway,
that's good to know. I have wanted to do a project. I saw a project at Graphic 45 where they took the pages out of the book, but instead of putting in a signature, they had waterfalls on each side, and that has been on my list. So maybe someday I'll do that.
That would be so cool. Okay, so then we've got these two pockets, and this is what I'm going to show you how to make a little bit. These are just little pockets with little like tags in them. Type thing, and I'll tell you
so cute.
what
that
this is
like
made
49
out of.
In Market also.
This all is 49 in Market. All of the cardstock in here is 49 in Market, and it's all that collection.
Okay.
Okay. And here is just again some book page. I dye my own paper with Tim Holtz reinkers. So all the papers that you see in here that are colored, I ink dye doilies as well, and then I use them. Here is a pocket that has a tag in it. Again, it's just there. Here's another little journaling spot.
Cindy, I think we probably have some viewers that are junk journalers and are amazed. And I think we probably have a lot of viewers that are not junk journalers,
yes,
if I can say it, and are probably going, wow, this is really cool, and want to try to do something like this.
And a lot of people will say, okay, this is great, this is a junk journal, what do you do with it? Well, actually, now once I get this in, I will actually use it and write in it and put pictures in it and journal whatever.
So it kind of becomes a scrapbook, a book about whatever you want.
Exactly. And then here's another piece of paper. This is a piece that has a belly band on it, and then I made a little, again, it's stitched around. I made a little notebook.
Oh my gosh.
And then this one's got a little corner. Oh, nope, this one it is both.
It is a corner. Oh, it's both.
It's a corner tuck. And so it's got little things here. And this is actually sewn in with my sewing machine, and you can see.
Is that sewn right to the tag?
It's just sewn, sewn right to the tag.
Oh my gosh.
Sewn right to the tag. And it just sits in here in the belly band.
Okay, Lori has a question.
Absolutely.
Let me get it all. Do you use the collection papers also along with your dyed papers? Do you find the weights of cardstock difficult to fold and bind?
No, I don't find. For at least for what I use, I love the weight of 49 in Market.
And that's heavy. That's a heavy paper.
I use a bone folder. I use a scoreboard to get those crisp folds, and I find that to be, for my projects, to be very useful. That's what I like to use. There are a few things though that I make, that pockets and things like that are, you can use a heavier weight, but they just feel so heavy and so weighted down if you're putting them inside another type journal. And I like to use either a lighter weight cardstock or even a heavier weight copy paper. and just cover the copy paper with cardstock. You know,
So
that
it kind of
type thing.
depends then.
It depends on your project, and it depends on just your personal taste.
And then
whatever
the
you
other
like.
question we have is, what do you use for your binding thread?
I use a lot of different things depending on my weights. I use a heavier weight. Let's see here. What's in here is this hemp cord,
Kind of a cord.
hemp cord or heavier weight, like string. I have some linen thread. Like I said, I'm a seamstress and I do a lot of craft.
Could you
all those types
use,
of
I
things.
guess I have it,
Crochet thread.
crochet thread or upholstery thread, would that work?
Heavier,
That's a little
heavier weight. You want it to be heavy enough to hold things in, but not too thick that you've got these holes.
Big holes, okay.
Exactly. And again, it just kind of depends on the project. Waxed thread. Some people you can find like waxed
Oh, yes,
thread.
yeah.
That really goes through the paper really nicely if you can find it. Just wherever.
Lori has been using coated linen thread.
Perfect.
And that's probably works great. Lori, thanks for sharing that.
Absolutely. No, Lori, that's a
We
great
love
idea.
hearing everybody's ideas because we all
Yep.
learn from everyone.
Absolutely. No, that's awesome. I'll have to go find that now. So here's just, again, the pages I use. This is just a piece of music that I have in here. Again, you'll see all my edges are distressed. This pocket is actually two pieces of paper. So like this piece and this piece that I've actually glued together. Okay, to make, so it's this piece and this piece is actually two pieces of paper that I've glued together, cut thumb holes. So attached here, and attached here, and there's a tag inside. It's a pocket.
So that's what she was talking about earlier, where you take a circle punch, and lots of different circle punch sizes work.
Absolutely.
You could even use a 1 inch,
Yep.
a 1 1/2, a 3/4.
I think that
It just makes a different size of
is
circle.
This a one. I have
That
a
looks
1
bigger
1/2.
than a 3/4, but
I have a 1 1/2, a 1 inch, and a 3/4. I also have a 2 inch. I mean, if you really, it doesn't have to be a circle. Some people still have the oval punches.
oh
You know,
yeah.
but I always turn the punch over so I can see where I'm punching out.
Yes,
type
that's
thing.
a great idea.
So there's this here. Well, so then on this side, it's attached the other way.
Oh my
vertically.
gosh.
So there's this pocket here.
Surprise!
So on this side of the paper, it's attached one way, and on this side of the paper, it's attached another
Oh
way.
my gosh.
So there's that. I think this is faded corduroy. I think that's what this color is.
Oh, the color?
Yeah.
Now, okay, we have another suggestion.
Uh-huh.
Andrea says you could also use a bar of beeswax to run your thread over to wax it.
Excellent
If
idea.
you happen to have that, that would be great.
Excellent idea. Excellent. Just make sure you're just not using sewing thread. It needs to be thicker
Right.
than just
sewing,
sewing
yeah.
thread. Okay. This is another little tag.
Oh my gosh.
The belly band on this one is now horizontal, and I've put a little
little
stopper.
Underneath. Oh, I love that.
And it's just, this is probably glued at the bottom, just right there. And then so
right
this way,
there is that's
That's
something
keeps
I'm
it-
going to use, Cindy. I'm definitely going to
You
use
know,
that. Oh my gosh,
keeps
I
it
love
from
it.
falling out. It just, that
That's
type
so
of thing.
smart.
Piece of dictionary paper. Another piece of this is antique linen. The antique linen is one of my favorite colors to ink dye paper with. Just putting that out there. It really is, and you'll find if you ever try it, depending on the type of paper you use, that color will look different on the
on
different
different paper?
type of
Oh,
papers
yeah, I bet
because of the
so.
fiber content. So it's really kind of interesting. This is just a pocket that I made, and you'll see it's attached with a piece of paper. And I made a pocket on this side. And sometimes I'll round the corners on my tags, you'll see, and notch and sometimes I'll just leave them squared up. Again, just depends on what you like, what you want to use. Oh, this one's really snug. Oh my goodness. And then this is just a pocket off the side that way.
I like how you're doing the side and the top pockets together.
Yeah, just
Okay, we have a question. They're wondering if we could use, we have some twine, the jute twine from Mayarts that we sell by the roll. And I don't know
if it's not the real thin,
when somebody goes by, it's on the spinner up there in the corner. Cindy's so good, she's running up to get it for us. So aren't you guys loving this? Okay, Andrea just joined in. Okay, Andrea just joined in. Oh, okay, would this work, Cindy?
That is probably going to be, it depends on how many pieces you're putting together. You could probably use that. It's too thin for a book like this.
So if you're doing a smaller project, it
Smaller
probably would
project,
work fine.
3 or 4 sheets would probably be fine for this type of thing. Okay?
Yep, thanks, Cindy.
You're
Okay,
welcome.
Cindy, you're going to love this.
What?
Andrea just joined in, and she's so excited because she's a junk journaler, a JJ maker.
Yay!
And she's so happy that we've got you here today showing this. So,
Well, thank you, Andrea. I appreciate that. I'm glad to be part of a great club.
I know it is
JJ
fun.
Maker, I love that.
I like that too. Okay,
like
2
it.
more questions.
You bet.
On the dictionary paper, did you back it with another paper or just put it in there as is?
Well, I'm going to have full disclosure. This piece is this is a digital print that I have that is actually printed off on my inkjet printer, and this is on premium weight, like copy paper.
What if you had a dictionary paper though? What would you do? Would you just put it in as is?
I
or-
just put it in as is. This music
That's
is
just as is, right?
is, and this is just music. Some dictionary papers are going to be thinner than others. Again, just kind of make that call.
It might depend on what you're putting on it too. If
Exactly.
you're just going to leave it or
Exactly.
put a few notes.
You could, like this piece here, this is actually cut out and is smaller than the piece underneath it. Okay, this is actually a pocket. So you could use the dictionary page, and just put it on another sheet
and make a pocket.
and make a pocket, or just make it so it's bordered. It's whatever you would want it to be. But this actually is a piece,
so
heavier
that's printed.
piece.
That's printed.
Yes,
Okay.
it's actually a piece of printed. And this lace paper is the same. And I use it, like I said, I use a heavy weight. I think it's 32 pound, 120 bright HP. I mean, it's pretty heavy
We have a
duty.
lot of paper that looks like that too.
Oh,
we have a lot of
absolutely.
lacy looking paper, but that is
you
beautiful, I
bet.
will say.
No, you bet. You bet.
There's somebody has asked how you color your paper, and you said you use the re-inkers.
I use the Tim Holtz re-inkers. I have, it's old Pyrex, sorry, glass, custard cup kind of thing.
Yes, I remember. I have
it's
some of those.
about this big around, and about maybe a half cup deep type thing.
Okay.
And I use a dropper full, again.
A full dropper.
A full dropper of my color. Again, I've played, so I know which color I need a full dropper of and which one I only
so
need
it's
a half.
a little experimenting.
Exactly. Ground espresso, half a dropper, because it's so
I
dark.
believe it. It's so dark.
Okay, so but like antique linen actually is a dropper and not quite a half.
Okay.
And then I put it in this custard cup. I use the foam brushes. And I use cold water, and I just have a glass of cold water, and I put it in the custard cup and stir it around with the brush and go, yep, that looks dark enough. And I just take my paper, and I have
This sounds messy.
it is. It's wonderful. You channel your inner child finger painting, and then you just take it and you brush it over you dip your foam brush into the liquid, brush it over your paper, flip your paper over, brush it over the other side, slap your next piece of paper on top of it, brush it, and just layer it the same color, and then just layer it. I have an actually it's a memory bound brown sack, the 18 by 20
yes,
size.
I remember those.
That's what I lay it on top of.
So something plastic.
Something plastic or paper. And then as it dries, don't try to pull them apart, but as they dry, they'll release and they'll pull apart.
Okay, I figured they would be all stuck together in a clump.
Well, they are originally, but once they dry, and it takes me, if I do it like a Saturday morning, by Sunday afternoon, I can pull things apart. Some people will want to iron the paper once it's done. I like the texture. I'm a texture girl. So, that type of thing. But
There are some people here that's saying that they also use coffee and tea.
and
they're going to try the re-inkers. So
that I find, for myself personally, I don't like the smell it gives the paper.
okay.
Because it smells, not that I don't love me some coffee, I do, and I love tea. I just don't like some people use avocado. Some people use
Oh my
beets.
gosh, are you kidding?
No.
Oh my
which
word, that's so
beet would
fun.
give the most gorgeous color, and but I don't like the food smell.
If anyone's tried that,
personally.
you'll have to let us know. I'd
Please
love to
do.
know how the avocado and the beet work out.
I have so many re-inkers. When I saw that, I was like, oh, let me just use those.
Yeah, it
Anyway.
will use what you have.
Exactly. Exactly. Use what you have. So
This is a beautiful page.
here's another page. Again, this was just the blue. Come here, tag. Again, you can see anytime you use vellum, whatever adhesive you're going to use, if it's a dark background, you're going to see it.
Dark backgrounds are
It
tough
just it is what it is, and that's
You just have to live with it.
I'm
and
okay
it's part
with
of the
it.
charm, right?
Exactly. I'm all about it. So here's another. Now this looks like it's probably a pocket, but it's not. This is just a piece that I've layered that looks like a card.
It'd be great for a photo right there.
Oh, absolutely. Here's another piece of paper. Now this in the middle, this is a project that I made out of a sack. This is like a 6x9
Oh,
sack.
okay.
Okay, pocket on the
That's
front.
actually a size we use here at the store.
There you. I probably got it.
You
from
might
here.
have, who knows?
But what I did is I folded it down the center this way, and you can see it's kind of stitched. And I did that before I covered it with this. So now I've got these two pockets for
Two
tags.
little compartments.
And this could be a cute little journal or gift or something on its own. Put yourself a little memory bound gift card in one of
Oh,
these.
yes, those are the
Just
best kind.
saying, exactly. So I've got two pockets here. And then this is an envelope. So this is what's called an A2 size, or like a regular size if for card makers, you know, that whole quarter, half
Half
sheet.
of a sheet of paper,
Yep.
8.5 by 11, yep.
And what I did is I slit the end of the sack and stuck it in there and then glued it down. So that's
Oh,
this.
so this is all one. Oh my gosh,
And then
that's so neat, Cindy.
here's our vellum envelopes again. And but I cut the flap off. So I cut this flap off, and then the bottom flap, this one, is what's tucked underneath this cardstock.
Makes
like
your
this,
flip.
That makes the flip. And then I just this is I think this is the 3/4 punch, and then I just have little tags in here as well. I did not put anything on this. Again, you could use it for a picture.
It's beautiful as it is.
But this piece in and of itself, and then there's a pocket on the back. And this is from the branding strip from the paper.
Yes, that's a Maggie thing.
I
She
do that a
always
lot.
saves those.
And you will see these, there'll be pieces, I think it was up front. This is part of the branding strips as well. So anyway, so this could be just a piece in and of itself. And then I made this little flip piece. I add maybe a 1/2 inch to the side, and I score it, and then I angle the corners because I like that. I think this way you don't have that.
It makes them hide, so she
it's
cuts an
better.
angle right there on her
Yeah.
little flipper
And
piece.
it's like this as opposed to coming straight out and across.
It looks more
And
professional, I
and
would
just
say.
tuck in there. The trick with making junk journals and all these little flips and that type of thing is not to cover up your fold or your score lines, and that's what helps it to lay flat. Okay.
That's really neat. I love
Hang
that.
on. Wait.
I
There's
love the
There's
49 market.
lot. There's so much in here. Here's another one of those pockets with the big tags in them. Again, you can use them as a journaling spot or photographs or what have you. I want to get to okay. Here's just a
We'll go back to that, Cindy.
here's just a piece this is the other side of this.
Okay.
Okay, this is just a piece of a book page, and that's the other side of it. And then to that, I just added
Another little flip.
Yep, just another little flip. Here's a pocket, and I did bring.
Is that what you're going to show us?
Yep, I can show you this. This is my linen thread that I have. This is doubled, so this linen thread is probably the weight of this burlap thread. So I use it for ties and that type of thing. And if I had smaller projects that were maybe only 3 or 4 pieces of paper, not necessarily cardstock, but just paper type things or lighter weight cardstock, you could use that. And then there's again a little pocket to be able to put stuff in.
Secret stuff.
I love stuff.
Secret stuff.
Yep. And then, of course, this is attached to the page only on 3 sides, so I can put a tag in.
That's sometimes I think about that too late. I stick something down, Cindy, and I'm like, oh my gosh, that could have been a pocket. So it's good. It's a great idea.
I do that too. And then just other pages. A lot of my pages are blank. I'll even put stuff, if I've got a picture, I'd put it on top of this book page.
Well,
or
sure.
the dictionary. Just because it's got something on the back like this doesn't mean I'm going to not use it. Here's another one of those vertical or
There's
the
your
horizontal
stopper.
belly band
I
with
love
the,
that
with
little
the
stopper thing. I'm going to use that technique.
I was going to put little gems on here. I'm not really a foo-foo la-la kind of girl, but I didn't want the bumps to interfere with writing. So
Those are good stickers.
So I just left them
Or
on.
I think it's
This is
stickers and ephemera.
And I believe I ran these through my my little plastic.
Oh, your Xyron?
Yeah. Just so it would be easier to put on there, as opposed to trying to glue them on. But you could do that. It would be absolutely okay. Here's another vertical pocket with a tag. The other side of the music page. This is 2 pieces of paper. Okay, here's
This looks
here's
tricky.
another. This is 2 pieces of paper, and what I did is it's glued down up to here, and then I folded this back.
Okay.
So you could have a tuck spot here, and then you've got the pocket here, but it is 2 pieces of paper, and you just fold this back on itself.
So the one piece is the back, this solid. This is the one piece.
Yep, there's
and
one
then
piece.
this is the second piece, but she folded it back maybe an inch.
Yeah.
Made a little cuff, kind of, I would say.
That's a great analogy. It's a cuff, and then there's just a place for a tag. Again, here's some of my ink dye doilies and things, and I just added this. This is just on there for decoration type
I
thing.
love it.
And then there's another pocket in the back. So that's the junk journal.
Cindy, that is amazing. A big round of applause and lots of hearts, because
Well,
I love
you're very
everything
kind.
I love everything you've showed us today. It's
Well,
really cool.
Now I'm going to show you again for my junk journal junkies. Okay.
Your JJ makers, I love it.
How we're going to take this.
Okay.
This is your average empty toilet paper roll, which you may or may not
Looks
have a
pretty
bunch
average.
of these. And we're going to make a pocket out of it.
So we're going to take a toilet paper roll and you're going to make a pocket with it.
Okay.
That's what this is?
Yep, that's what these are.
Oh
They're
my
pockets.
gosh.
Now, full disclosure, I like to do full disclosures. These are actually a paper towel roll, and which you could do the same thing
And cut it.
and just cut it whatever size you need. And I got like 3. There's another pocket that I have on a different project that's like a shorter one. But the one I'm going to show you is just using your basic average toilet
Oh, I
paper
can't
roll.
wait. Okay, here we
so
go.
Here it is. So what you do is you take your toilet paper roll. Now this is very scientific.
I can tell. All right. Yes.
You flatten it. Take your bone folder and really now if you don't have a bone folder, I love mine, trust me.
Oops. Oops, sorry everybody.
They're awesome for this type of thing. But whatever you have that you use to really crease, and you're like, okay, well, but this is not staying flat. How are we going to make this look like this? You spray it with water, put it in between 2 pieces of wax paper.
Put a book
Put a
on
book
it.
down
But
on
not
it.
that book, but a book.
No, put a heavy item on it overnight until it
Oh,
dries.
and then it'll be
and
flat
then it'll
like
be
that?
flat.
Oh my gosh, I didn't know that.
Okay.
Cindy,
So-
I know I hate to interrupt you, but Karen has a question.
Sure.
Did you design the pages first and then add them to the book? Like, did you do all your pages and then stitch them into this book, or did you like do your book and then do your page designing, or was it a little bit of both?
Yes. It was a little bit of both.
Okay.
Some of the pages I did ahead of time, like this one, because of the way it's connected, were ahead of time. Some of the ones I put in, like the ones that I made pockets from, and then
Did that after the fact?
find if you're going to put poles in, cut these before you glue down.
A little easier,
Because
isn't it?
sometimes it's hard to get that punch underneath. Just a little tip. But it's a little of both.
That's a great question.
Oh, it's a perfect question. Perfect question.
Okay, so is this our Rachel Ray Magic that you've already done this
Yep,
one?
there's that one. I'm going to leave that one for Kelly, so she
Yeah,
can
I'm
take
going
that
to
home
have
and
to
do
take
it.
that home and make a pocket.
Okay, so now what you do is you're going to put a little bit of score. Okay, this is where
I'm
people
amazed
will
at how
say.
flat that is.
I know, right? I
Yes.
didn't believe it until I did it.
I'm going to do it, Cindy.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put actually score tape in here as opposed to glue. But I think, and sometimes you can do both. And on this one, I'm going to use 1/4-inch score tape. And just because I find it holds better now. And you're going to go, oh my God, how's she going to get that in there?
Bonnie says your albums are absolutely beautiful and she loves your ideas.
Oh, thank you, Bonnie.
And Oshra loves repurposing things. She thinks that's amazing.
This is how to make
Okay.
it easier to put in. Actually, kind of ballpark it, estimate what it is, and tear it off to begin with. Okay, so you're not working with this whole big
The big roll. That's a good tip.
Okay, and then I just kind of scooch it in here. Scooch. That's a technical term.
That's good. Where everybody make a note of that.
Technical term. You're free to use it. I wish I could say I coined it, but I did not. And then you just kind of ballpark it and push it in here. You can use glue as well. Okay, because some people it's like this, it's just too cumbersome. Then fine, just take a little bit of glue. In this book I use the Nuvo glue and just run a little bead of glue along the edge. All right, I want to make sure this is burnished down real well, and then I happen to have
Cindy, we're all watching you too, so
I happen to have fingernails right now, but typically I don't. And this is not gonna lift for me, so I'm gonna use my craft
Lori
kit.
says, can you imagine a weekend with Cindy and Katie?
Oh, I want to be Katie and I want to be Diane when I grow up. I'm serious.
Okay, and Marianne, you want to be Diane and Katie when you grow up?
I do, because they have some. And Maggie, I want to be Maggie for all her her multimedia.
Aren't we lucky?
You guys are so
We
great.
have a wonderful crew.
So I pulled that off. There's your score tape. Boom. Burnish it down. And now you got yourself a pocket. Opened at this end.
And it's nice and sturdy.
And it's not going anywhere. And so then
And
you're
you
like,
didn't have to like cut out something, make a seam, glue it together.
Nope.
Oh, that's
It's
lovely.
done.
I love it.
Again, score tape or glue. Glue will work just fine, or a little both. It just whatever makes you happy. And so then, this is what's going to be fun. I'm not going to actually measure. I'm going to take.
Well, I think that's good.
I'm going to take some liquid glue. Let's see, hopefully.
And Cindy's using the Nuvo glue, and that is a staff favorite.
Yeah. I'm going to use the glue, and I'm going to get it to the edges and just kind of scribble it along. Scribble, scribble, scribble. And I like to say, people, it's not brain surgery. Not that brain surgeons aren't very smart, because they are. However,
We don't need our
don't matter. It does not. Oh, my English teacher would just die. So what I'm going to do now?
I think I know your English teacher.
You probably do.
Anyway, or did.
So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to lay this on top. Okay, and we're going to burnish it down, and we're going to make sure it's all nice and stuck on there. And then we're going to cut around the outside.
Cindy, I never realized how much I would use a bone folder until I got one. And
love it.
I use it. I actually have two.
Yep.
I dropped one on our ceramic. Well, I don't know if it's ceramic, but our tile floor, and it was an EK success, and it chipped the point off of it. So, but I knew where to get another one,
Absolutely.
and I did.
Because you got people.
We got people, and we got supplies.
Yes, ma'am.
This is the one I have at home, and that little point is really nice, and I like it. It happened to fall just the right way. This is a Teflon one from Maker Forte, and yours might be Teflon, I think, if you got it from Tonic.
Yes.
And those don't leave that shiny
On your dark
on your dark paper when you use them.
Absolutely.
I don't know how. How does it work?
I don't
have no
know.
idea.
I don't know.
It's magic.
I also want to be Tim Holtz when I grow up.
Okay.
So now you've got this on here. Here's the top. Now you're going to cut off the excess, but you're not going to cut it off right next to the actual toilet paper roll. Leave yourself, maybe 1/8 of an inch at the most, or 1/16. I like to use my decal scissors. And
You could also use the Tim Holtz decal trimmer.
Yes, you certainly could. And you're going to leave yourself just a little bit. So this is called crafting on the fly.
So if you are just joining us, that white piece there is actually a toilet paper or paper towel roll, just like this was, and Cindy's showing us how to make a pocket with it.
So,
and her pockets that she made are right here in her journal.
So we're just cutting around.
I'm going to have to see if we have decal scissors. I really don't know if we have any.
I've had these for probably 20 years. I mean,
yeah. I believe it.
I mean, there we go. Anyway, so now you've got this piece that looks like this. Let me see here. Where's my top? There's my top. But when I glue it down in here or wherever, you'll just put your glue on. This is also another piece. You could also put a pocket in a pocket. You could glue it down on this side, and this at the top, and now you've got a tuck spot underneath, and then your pocket you've got that you can make a tag, and I did bring a piece of cardstock, but the tag, when I do my tags, I take my ruler. This is my handy dandy, my Tim Holtz ruler, because it fits inside, but I know that Memory Bound has one too, but I love these because it's got the center point, and this really comes in handy when I'm measuring my holes for my signature.
Sure, for your signature.
So I know where my middle is, and I know I need to go 3 inches from this side, 3 inches from that side, and I can have them even, because I need to have, that has to be perfect for me, otherwise I have an issue. And then it's that centering piece on one side, and it's 1 through 12 inches on the other. But the Memory Bound ruler is the same.
Right. We have the Tim Holtz ruler, his design ruler, and it's $7.49. I'm going like across wide ways today, so I have to kind of go like this. And then Memory Bound also has a clear ruler, which I can't see because it's clear, and it's a centering ruler, and it's got 1/8 and 1/4 marks on it, and I think I have it upside down. But it also has Memory Bound's logo on it, which makes it special. So those are both available. That one's $12.99.
Yep.
We have those made for us.
And they're awesome.
Okay, and Cindy, hang on a second. There's something here. If you put a paper cover on the pocket, you can make it longer. Fold it under the pocket before you glue it on the page, maybe, instead of glue or tape inside the tube. Just a thought.
Yep.
So you
Great idea.
Yeah.
Great idea. That's awesome. You guys come up with such
I
wonderful.
I know.
Just I like the way that the community feeds off each other.
Isn't it crazy?
It's
I love it.
But this is how I change. I'll do my pockets.
Oh my gosh! Here we go.
I put my ruler inside.
Okay.
And I'll go, but I don't go all the way down to the end, because you'll see some of these are really hard to get out. So it's like, okay, well, let's see here. That's about 3 1/4 deep. So I might cut it 3 1/2, and then I have to guess. I usually come in about 1/4 of an inch from either side. So I think this one might be 2 inches. So I'll probably would cut this tag 3 1/4 inches by 2, and then
it would fit right in
it's
there.
easier.
Oh my gosh!
It's easier to cut it bigger and then trim it away than to cut it smaller and wish you had. But I will do that. You'll notice on some of my tags they're straight across. Some of my tags are rounded, and I use your whatever corner rounder you like to use, whatever your one is that you like. You can cut the like a tag corners.
I like the little strips that you put on the tops of those.
Yeah,
I think that's really nice.
Branding strips.
It adds a lot.
Save your scraps, people. And then again, this can just be then attached somehow, and now you've got the pocket. And I know we're going long. I mean, there's so many other things.
Don't you have something else to show us?
Yes, I have other things to show you.
All right.
As
well, I think people are loving this, so we should.
So here's we'll put this over here.
Put those there. Let me get this out of your way.
Okay. The next thing that I want to show you that you can use is to make your own library pocket. So it's this piece. And then just a piece of cardstock that I've put in.
And I recognize that ephemera from your ephemera book.
Yes, and what that is.
Here we go. And I'll take a picture of this. And I'll post a picture of this.
Absolutely. This particular size, you can make this any size that you want. And you have, this one is made from an 8x4 piece of cardstock. Remember, you're gonna fold up the bottom, so whatever is here, if you've got something that's directional,
Oh, tricky, yeah.
make
Gotta be
sure
careful.
that if that is important to you, make sure that the direction is how you want it when you fold that pocket up. So what you're going to do is you're going to, first thing, I cut the notches. Actually, I used the We Are Memory Keepers envelope punch board.
Okay, we do have those.
And it is punched at the 3.5 inches. You put the edge at the 3.5 inch mark, and you punch that here. Score that at 3.5 inches. I score the sides at 1/4 inch on both sides, all the way down. Okay. Actually, I do all the scoring first. Score 1/4 inch. Score at 3.5 inches. I put this in the scoreboard. If you don't have a scoreboard, that's fine. Not a big deal, because what you can do is just take, because you're going to cut off the long strips along the back. That's going to be this back. Okay, you're going to cut that off, and on this side you're going to take 1/8 inch score tape and put it along here, and then you're going to fold it up, and now you've got your pocket.
And Cindy, sometimes I score. I mean, I love the scoreboard, and we use it here at Memory Bound all the time. And the one that's kind of a staff favorite is the EK Success one, because it's got the envelope maker and things. But sometimes if I don't have it or don't want to get it out, I use my trimmer, my Fiskars trimmer, and a bone folder, and I just run the folding tool, bone folder, just down the track, the blade track, and it works just fine.
Some trimmers have scoring
Yes, and
blades.
they're black. If you have a Fiskars,
Yep.
the black is your scoring blade.
as well. Pardon me. Also, again, this one's got the thumb hole punch out. Get all this punching done like this before it's easier to do this here now as opposed to when it's attached. And then again, you're going to cut off the long sides of the back, and you're going to score, you fold in on the bottom and the sides where you've got that 1/8 inch. Put that score tape on, and
Fold it up and stick it down.
Stick it down, and then you just make your library card or whatever card you want to put in. Whatever
That's
size.
really cute, especially out of that paper.
And then you're ready to go. Again, you can attach this to a scrapbook page. It doesn't have to be a junk journal.
Right.
This could go on a scrapbook page. It could go in a card where you could make it a little smaller and put a gift card in, but you could attach it again on the bottom, on the two sides, and make it a pocket at the top. Or you could
Or on the side.
a side at the sides and the
It's
top
so
and the bottom,
tricky.
and do it here. So
That's what I'm
yeah.
taking away from today, Cindy. That and your stopper on your
and my
bands.
stopper.
Yeah.
So that's the library pocket, and I'll leave this or have Kelly take
And
a picture
I believe
of this.
if you're local and you come into Memory Bound, I've been staring around, and Cindy's probably wondering what I'm looking at, but I'm pretty sure we have a die board that cuts a library pocket also. So it's smaller. We have one that cuts a smaller.
It looks like an envelope, but I think I think you're right. I think somewhere there might be.
But this works
Yep.
awesome. This is
This
amazing.
works, so that goes
that
with
looks
this.
really neat, Cindy.
And then this next one.
But wait, there's more. Don't hang up.
Is this pocket?
So that's kind of like a policy envelope.
Yep.
In a way, a different size, but
Exactly.
Cindy's going to show us how to make these.
Well, and this is just, I've got one started again.
She's prepared. And Cindy, thank you. I don't know if I even said thank you yet, and I'll say thank you again.
I think
but
you did.
It's so sweet of you to come today.
Oh, it's wonderful for you to have me. Thank you. This is a piece of cardstock that's 4.5 inches by 12. You'll have to excuse my scribbles. It's hard for me to read upside down. But then I scored it again 1/4 inch along the long sides.
Okay.
Okay, from this is 1.75 inches from one end, and then the flap up is 4 3/4 from the other. Okay, so that's this size. Again, you
You
make
can
this
adjust it to whatever
exactly
you want.
whatever
yeah.
size you wanted. This is punched out first, so you've got these pieces. Now here's a little trick.
Yeah, we like tricks. We like your tricks, Cindy.
Because I'm going to put these like
I don't know what you
ledger
call those
circles. And what I did ahead of time is I made, I used 2 thicknesses of cardstock, glued them together,
Glue them together
and
to make them stronger.
To make them stronger.
That is a great tip.
And it's like, okay, well, I need one here about, and let's see if I have my pencil handy, because sometimes I do and sometimes I don't.
We can grab one. Oh, she does.
So let's see here. So we're going to put one about, actually, sometimes
So
it's
are
easier.
you putting it in the middle?
Sometimes it's easier if you do this. This is what I'm going to punch the hole with. I'm going to punch it with my craft pick. Okay? And I'm going to kind of notice I am not measuring. If you are really about that, you can measure. I have a piece of foam. Actually, it's packing foam.
Oh yeah, we don't have anything
stiff foam.
here.
That's okay. We'll make it work. I just make sure your fingers are back.
Get your fingers out of the way.
Trust me, and poke it through. Okay. Just like that.
Okay.
That's what we're going to do.
Love it.
Wiggle it through. And we're going to do the same to this one.
So she's doing the other one, and she's using the Tim Holtz die pick. And we do have those here. They're $4.99, and they do have a lid. I guess I'm calling it a lid or a cap or whatever. The other thing that people like from Tim Holtz is his retractable craft pick. So with this, it's got the same little picky thing. Instead of a lid, though, it just retracts back into itself, and that one is $6.49. So that is what Cindy's using to poke the hole.
Okay, so and the reason I did that ahead of time is so now I can kind of sit them on.
It looks cute already.
Now I can kind of sit them on as like I originally had this one down there. Like, I don't like that one. I'm going to put this one down there. I'm going to put this one up here, and now I can take my pencil.
And that's the last name, right?
And I can mark my spot. And this is probably going to be backwards. I'm doing this upside down, guys, so I apologize.
Oh, that's okay.
And let's see. So now I've got my spots right here and here. Right? So now what I'm going to do is take my pick again and punch another little hole.
This is, that was really handy.
You don't have to, try to get like a circle punch or anything down. You just don't want to make it too big.
Because you don't need a big, you just need to start a little start of a hole.
And then I'm going to take my brad that I've got. And a lot of different companies have different brads, different colors, different sizes. I like a smaller one with longer legs, if you can find it.
Longer legs, I like that, Cindy.
And I'm going to put it through here. And I'm going to put it through here. And I'm going to switch this around so it's kind of...
I think what I didn't know was that you used a double, that you put two
together.
Two together. I did not
Thicknesses.
know that.
And then what you can do, and before, what I will do is I'll take and cover it. So my paper doesn't get caught.
Oh, yes.
All right. And then we're going to do the same for the top. Take your brad, put it in. Come on.
I think people are liking this a lot. I'm learning so much today.
And I find when I do my brads, is some people will take the ends and press them down. Actually, I get down to the center and press them from the center, and they lay flatter.
A little tighter, yeah.
For me. Mm-hmm. And I have used these before where it's got the disc. It's got the metal disc.
Oh, sure.
That goes underneath
Yeah.
it like a reinforcer. And then you just take about that much. Make sure your legs are covered, right? And
put a little glue on it.
Little glue. Again, it doesn't matter. It doesn't have to match. I mean, if you're about matchy, rock on. Seriously, whatever makes you happy. And glue that on.
And you're using a very vintage, kind of shabby
Yep.
Style, which I absolutely love.
I've seen this done.
And Yeah.
With very modern papers.
Well, yeah, you could do it with anything.
It's
just a different style.
This
But
just
I
is-
love the technique.
This just is my personal preference on what I like. But any papers, whatever, again, whatever makes you happy, that's what you need to use. Again, this is just glue.
Cindy, I have to share this comment. You are
Yes.
going to love it.
Talk to me.
Jennifer says this is so good, better than Tim on a Saturday morning.
Oh, stop. No.
Whoa.
I don't know if anything, that is so sweet. That is, honestly, that is
Maybe
so sweet.
maybe you've hit one of your dreams.
I-
You're Tim Holtz. You've
Tim
grown
Holtz,
up and you're Tim Holtz.
And I'm Tim Holtz. Tim, if you ever see this, I'm sorry, dude. Really, I am. I love you.
Oh, that's so funny. Everybody loves Tim.
I, like I said, I want to be Tim when I grow up. So I'm just covering, making sure it's wide enough. So now, when you go to
back.
close this, and you put paper in it, you're not going to catch the legs of the brads.
That is, I don't know that
Okay.
I would have thought to do that, Cindy. I really love that. I've
And-
learned a lot of tips today.
And okay, yes, this one's going to show. So if you want to make it pretty, this could be a piece of ephemera. You could put a piece of ephemera over that.
Oh, that's a great idea.
You know, so it didn't, so when you opened it up, you could round the corners so your corners aren't exposed and that type of thing. So then all you're going to do is you've got your 1/8 inch, again, score tape along the side. Again, you can use glue. If you use glue, be careful because you don't want it to migrate
Inside,
and you don't
yeah.
want this to glue down. And here's what I was talking about before with that library pocket, about not having an envelope punch board. All I did is, this is where the fold is. I'll fold it up.
You just notch it a
And
little
I just,
bit.
just came out or came in, whichever way you want to look at it, from the center to the outer edge at an angle, and there's your notch. It's
Perfect.
It's the same. It's the same thing. So then, again, if you like to ink, do this ahead of time, especially
Yes.
this one. That's much easier.
I think
from
there's a lot of
experience.
inkers out there because we sell a lot of Tim Holtz inks.
And I ink down a little bit, on some of the stuff before I do as well, and then I just fold it up. Now I've got my pocket. Now, and I've rounded the corners or notch in your corners up here as well. And then what I would do is, I forgot to bring my thread, is I would just take a piece of like that linen thread.
Go back here.
Yep, like that linen thread.
Is it tied on somewhere,
Yep,
Cindy?
actually what I do is, this is one long piece. I fold it in half. I wrap it around so you've got the loop.
Sure.
So we'll just use this cord. So you've got the loop around, and then I pull it through. So now this loop
okay.
is around the inside underneath. Oh, here's those metal brads. So it's inside, underneath here, and then you've got a double string, or you could use single, that type of thing.
Oh
And
my gosh, I love it.
That's how I double it. Now, if it's single, I just make like a slip knot and then put it underneath, and that type of thing. But I like to use the double ones because you could do one way and one the other. But that's how you would.
Oh my gosh,
That's how you
I
do
love
that.
it.
And
It looks like a
I
piece
just noticed
that you
they're
would have
off center.
purchased.
That they're off center.
They're off center.
But you know what? That's okay. Not a big deal.
well, when you fill it up, you're not going to notice.
Right, exactly. So again, you could put that on your book, or in a card, or on a scrapbook
On
page.
a layout or a lot of
But
different
if
things.
you have vacation ephemera, you could put, this is the envelope for those types of
Yes, I
little
love it. Tickets.
receipts, tickets, exactly. And then you could make this another pocket, either this way, or if it's on this side, that whichever way. And now you've got this piece as well.
And Cindy, here's a
So.
question from Lori. Do you actually use the JJ? Is it ever done? Do you add photos or continue in the art style? So I think they want to know what you do if you
I
just,
write
if it
in
keeps
mine
going.
and I write in mine and put pictures in them. When I've got in here next month sometime, I'm
Yeah.
going to be coming back and I'm going to show you my travel notebooks, my
Oh, we'd
traveler's
love to see
notebooks,
that. We'd love it.
and my kind of those type of junk journals that I have that I've made that I needed to make another one to write in, but I have one. It's a cover, and then you can take this center insert where all your pages are that you write in, and you can remove it so you can keep the cover the same, and then you just
like different
change them out. So once it's full of whatever it is, then you can just put a new one in. So that is, yeah, that'll be coming up sometime next time they let me come back.
Let her come back.
But I will definitely let Kelly, take pictures.
I'll take
this
pictures.
one. I have the instructions from this one. I'd like to say these are my own creations, but I watch a lot of YouTube videos, and I just take my ideas
But
from
I think
them.
you just combine everything and make it amazing, and you've made it. You've inspired so many people. I don't think you have any ideas, Cindy.
And this little book, this is the kind of cut pieces that I cut for that too, which I'll let Kelly take a picture for that.
Of that too, absolutely.
And have that as well. So, and then this toilet paper, people start saving your toilet paper rolls because they make great
Use
little
more
pockets.
toilet paper
Or paper towels.
I think a lot of people probably have some extra storage of toilet paper, maybe.
I know we still do.
I know, that's so funny. Well, this has been amazing. And Cindy, like we said, we are having Cindy back again. I'm sure everybody, with all the hearts we've gotten today, definitely. And we just have to get a date. We had a date, and we're going to make a little change to it. So we will post that and let you know when Cindy's coming back. And I can't remember who it was. It was a worked for a library, and she's got some paper she doesn't like, and so she's going to try this. And and Cindy, have you heard of our waboom? That's the saying that Katie and Dawn made up.
Like
well, Kathy says it's a waboom day today.
Oh, that's so sweet.
So thank you for coming in on your Saturday morning.
Oh, thank you for
and everyone,
having
thank
me.
you for joining us. I'll take some pictures of Cindy's amazing projects, and I'll post them right after this. And Karen's going to do something for her granddaughter's senior year like this. Wouldn't that be neat?
Wonderful. If it's for her, she will absolutely love it. You'll love it.
You'll have to read all the comments, Cindy, because they are pretty cool.
I'm sure everybody's been so kind and so gracious. And
well, you're amazing. You're amazing.
Can't wait to read everybody's comments and all. And I can't
Cindy's
wait to come
be back. And what are you doing for your next video?
It's a trifold pocket out of one sheet of 8.5 by 11 paper. That's my little demo.
Okay.
But there could be some other things. You just never know.
You never know what she's going to come up with.
Also, another tip, another thing, if you do dye your papers, it may change because of the fiber in the paper, the texture of the paper. All of a sudden may feel thicker than it does, and it's because the fibers in the paper absorb all that fluid, and then they hold on to it as it dries.
As they dry,
it's, as I said, I'm a texture girl. I love it. I love that texture that it gives the paper. I love it. I love it.
Well, I think we're all Cindy girls now too. So,
that's so
Cindy,
sweet.
thank you so much. Everyone, have a wonderful day.
Have a great weekend.
If you're out and about, we're open till 4 o'clock today. We'd love to see you, and we'll be back with our morning video on Monday. And Teresa will be here. And I cannot remember what Teresa's doing, but something really cool on Monday. So we'll see you then.